Today is a wonderful opportunity to do several things. First, we have this sunny day and the mountain peeking up over the trees, which is so critical for Pierce College because you know it's the symbol of our logo. We also have this wonderful opportunity to honor the memory and the service of Cheryl Kneale, and to admire this amazing piece of art by local artist Susan Russell-Hall. You know, art is one of those mediums that give us the opportunity to reflect, to maybe be provoked, because it could be provocative, it could be beautiful, it could be like, huh, what's that? And each of us have the chance to take a look at ourselves and to think about how it is that we relate to the art or don't, or to one another.
The artwork is a piece that's really about the community. I collected over 300 tea bags that were given to me and carefully dried them, ironed them, placed them on boards. And they represent everyone's stories and done in honor of Cheryl Kneale, who's an incredible librarian and woman. The threads are very important. There's 3 threads here for one person's story, another person's story, and the story we get to create together. And the threads are open at the top and open at the bottom to remind us to keep open hands, open hearts, and open minds, and that we're all on this earth together.
So thank you for being here today at an event that is a once-in-a-lifetime event for a library. Libraries do not get this stuff all the time, and so this is a big deal for us in so many ways.
Cheryl Kneale worked in the library for 20 years. She was our serials technician. She was a lover of mystery books. She was a knitter and a quilter. And I have the quilt that she pieced together for my daughter when my daughter was born. These are quilt pieces from my great-grandmother, and so Cheryl, as a quilter, put this together for me.
Cheryl actually started working here about a year after I did, which is amazing. And the reason that she started working here, well, I feel partly responsible because Susan Pincus and I were both selected to be her interview committee. We had a position open at the circulation department, and Susan and I were asked to interview the candidates, one of whom was Cheryl. And as soon as we met Cheryl and heard her story, we thought, she's the one. She's very bright, witty, and has worked in lots of different kinds of libraries all over the country, in fact, all over the world. She worked in libraries in Belgium and Turkey when her husband was stationed there.
But Mary said that 4 years ago, she came to the library and she wanted to make a donation in Cheryl's honor. And she asked if I would like books or computers or what would we like for the library. And I said, I think the library gets supported by the state and I have a budget for books and computers, but nobody buys libraries' art.
So then Cheryl died in August. My husband had died in April of the same year, 2014. And I had death on my mind, of course, and I had memorializing people on my mind. So I thought, you know, Cheryl has left a real hole in the library. She was just one of a kind person, and I thought it would be really nice to start a memorial to her.
We got to Susie's project, and we were like, that thread is a really nice way to honor Cheryl Kneale and all of her contributions around knitting and quilting. And so that seemed great. And then we were also like, I love the idea of the threads of connection because that's about our community. And then we were like, we also really like this tea bag thing because, this is the aside, the Pierce College Library has had an event for the past 10 years that's called Third Thursday Tea at 3. So every third Thursday of the month, Pierce College community gathers in the library classroom at 3 o'clock. The library staff puts on hot water, and people come and take their afternoon break and drink tea and eat snacks. There's no agenda, there's no meeting, there's no planning, there's just coming together around tea and building community. We started collecting tea bags. So our T3s, the tea bags that you see there, are collected by our staff, by our students, by our community, and by friends of Cheryl's from throughout the country. And so we gathered tea bags, we sent them to Susie, and the piece you see behind you was created.
1, 2, 3. I am so incredibly honored to have received this commission because I went to the University of Washington, but it was going to a community college that really gave me the tools so that I could make my life and my living out of art. So to be in a library now, when I remember being in a library as a student and coming back to a community college as an artist, my lifetime dream, and having work on the wall is more meaningful than I can ever find the words to express. This is an incredible piece for me, having lost my mom when I submitted the RFP. My mother was an artist and I became an artist. Cheryl was a librarian and her daughter Ruth is a librarian. It was a very meditative and process, very intentional, knowing that each one of the tea bags had a personal story. So it was a very powerful piece of art to create, and it's also my largest installation that I've ever done. What I loved is that people can come over and sign the back of the painting before it's been installed. So there's all these signatures on the back. So everyone is included.
I absolutely love the artwork where it is and why it's here, which is for our students who deserve a beautiful place to study and to view art and to belong.
I think the artwork's fantastic. Susie did a great job. Her idea of putting the tea leaves together, and I could not believe that there was nothing in that spot before. It's like it's a perfect spot for it, and it honors a great lady. Just talking to her husband, and she loved the library and she loved the college, and she enjoyed her students. So it's a great tribute today.
Well, I think it's perfect for the spot because it's a big blank vertical spot and kind of a neutral dark color, and this just really sets it off and makes you notice it. The art is what you want it to be because, you know, it's abstract. It's not, I mean, it's made of real objects, but it is abstract.
Oh my God, I couldn't stop smiling. It was like unbelievable. You create something in your studio, and I have a white wall in my studio, and seeing it hung on this dark red wall was just like, oh my gosh, this was made for this space. This belongs here.